crew. If you're new, my name's Cassandra. Today is the day we are cleaning out the 2 chest freezers I have behind me. We're cleaning these out because I go once a month grocery shopping tomorrow. This was a big thing that I had on my goals for pantry challenge, and because our family was sick for so long, I just got pushed off. But if I still get it done today, I still got it done in my pantry challenge for January. So it is still a win. Nothing like waiting till the 11th hour, but sometimes that's the way the cookie crumbles. I took a little bit of time to kind of figure out what I wanted to do with these. So this is a small chest freezer. It's a 3x3. We have a 6-foot chest freezer here, and we have another 6-foot chest freezer out in the garage, but that one's pretty decently organized right now. Organized for me, rather. So I'm not dealing with that one right now, but I want to go through these 2, and I think I can get these done in the same day. This is my plan. This is what this is looking like now. We have some pork in here, ground beef on the bottom, and maybe some salmon fillets, and then my once a month grocery shopping things are in here. This is typically what I have left at the end of the month, right? So I have a bag of chicken, I have a couple string cheeses, some lunch meats in there, a bag of green beans. But other than that, everything that you guys saw during my once a month grocery shopping hauls at the beginning of January is gone. We went through it and we ate it. This freezer, I don't know what's at the complete bottom of it. We're gonna find that out today. But the top, I have some yeast, I have some discount cheese in there, and these are all of our large hams from the pig. So my plan is to put all of my meat in here, get all of that organized. I pulled out some milk crates from the garage, and then I want to move all of my store-bought things into this freezer. So all my Aldi hauls will go in here, all of the cheese and things like that. That's my plan. Now it's really just about pulling things out. I put my milk crates over here. I got those washed up this morning, so they're clean, ready to go, because those milk crates that we're using today have been all over the homestead for all sorts of different things. So we gave them a good disinfecting scrub, and I have 3 in front of me right now. If I need more, I have some in the garage. I can go get some, wash those up really quick. Won't be an issue, but I figured let's just start with 3 because I don't really know how many I'm gonna need, what I'm gonna wanna organize, and I don't wanna have to be lugging things up and down flights of stairs and all around the homestead if I don't really need to. I am pregnant right now, and any extra carrying that I have to do just doesn't sound super appealing, especially up and down stairs. So we're only gonna do what we have to do today, and that's just the motto of life I'm in currently, still kind of recovering from all of the sickness that went on. And if you're in that season of life, let's just give each other a digital high five and keep rocking and rolling. This is when I just started pulling everything out and making designated piles on the floor, just trying to figure out what went with what, putting things with things, and just kind of getting a better visual picture of where I wanted to put things, and also how much of things I had left. It was a good time to do a little bit of inventory. If you have chest freezers, you know sometimes things get pushed to the bottom and it can be hard to see exactly how much you have left. We'll talk about that in a second here, but just making sure that everything was kind of prepped and organized to go back into the freezers. I was putting things in milk crates as we went along, and just trying to, like I said, get an overall picture of how this was actually going to go. You can always have a plan and have an idea, and then you get into the project and realize that that stuff is all null and void. So for once, it felt good to have a project kind of go exactly the way I thought it was, and it actually didn't take me that long to do this project at all. I'd say about an hour to go through these 2 freezers. Glad I'm taking the time to do this today because that is all the ground beef we have left. I didn't count the packages. I should have counted them when I was putting them in here, but each one of the packages here that you saw in the crate are 2 pounds each. What we use for our family size, especially because we use these mostly for burgers or sloppy joes, Salisbury steaks, meatballs, things like that. I usually process the ground beef into other products myself, and as a family of 6, we just need the 2 pounds. If I'm ever doing something I'm doing a convenience meal like a hamburger helper or something, I'll cut it in half and only cook half up for that meal and then put the other 1 pound in the fridge and we use it for something else. But this is what I got. So first crate is full. We're gonna get this in the chest freezer, and I think my other 2 crates I'll be able to use just for our pork, which is great because that means this freezer is gonna be super organized but also very empty, so we'll be able to fill it with things, which means I might be able to go, I don't know if I want to take any of the fish that's in our chest freezer in the garage and put it in here and have all of our meat in one freezer, just because I know when we do order that next cow, then I'm gonna have to take a ton of stuff out of this freezer and put it back into that one, and I don't know if I want to do all that extra work. But another good reason, I found 4 old packages of pork. This is from the pig we got prior to our most recent one. I can tell the difference because we got them, they were processed at different butchers, so the packaging is different here. And I found 4 of these. I found 1 thing of pork hocks, which I figured I'd find at the bottom of the freezer. And then I found 2 pork steaks and 1 package of pork chops. But I wanted to show you the difference here. So I was very new to ordering whole animals, whole pigs specifically. So I had our pork steaks packaged into like the whole pork steak, put it together, and you can see the size. This is a very big package versus how I got them packaged this time. This is more appropriate for our family when we eat a pork steak specifically. So size in packaging, when you're butchering an animal or packaging how you want it packaged, can make a huge difference in the convenience of how you eat it. So we're going through our pork steaks in the smaller package much quicker because this is a meal sized for us versus this is like 4 or 5 meals for us. So it's just taking us longer to go through these. So I'm gonna make sure I put these at the top of this freezer, and I'm gonna reach for these first. That way through the month of February, I'm making sure that I'm using these. But yeah, so the packaging is huge when it comes to these things. So I've got 4 packages of pork I'm gonna make sure I'm using this month. Even if that stuff isn't on my meal plan, because I already meal planned for February, I'm gonna put those on there, make sure that those are something we're going through, because they've been in there a very long time. I don't know if they have a date on them. Yeah, there's no date on these, but they've been in there at least a year. So we're gonna get those used up. This ground beef can go. My other baskets aren't gonna fit in this freezer, so I'm just gonna load in my pork and section it by cut and just kind of organize things a little bit better. I'm gonna put my pork steaks on the bottom, my spare ribs on the bottom, my pork chops up on this little ledge here. I really wanted to be able to also put my large hams in here, but I don't know, we'll see. I might put them over the top of my, like by my ground beef. I'm just gonna have to see how things fit. That's really what it comes down to. You can start a plan and it all doesn't mean it's actually gonna happen that way. So I'm gonna finish loading in this pork, and then I'll show you guys this freezer and if I can fit some of my ham roasts in here too. All right, freezer is completely full. Well, full-ish. A ton of bear meat. This is ground bear meat. I didn't know I had this as a black bear. At the bottom of this little chest freezer because I cleared her out. So I put that in here. This has been in here a long time. I think like 3 years or 4 years. We use this as a mixer. Usually we'll cut it with like ground beef or something, or a ground venison, and it makes really great meatloafs or burgers. The thing with bear meat though is you have to cook it all the way through. Have to. Like medium rare is not a thing. That's typically why we will cut it. It's a little bit gamey. Also why we usually cut it with ground beef. So that's great. It'll help us make this ground beef go a hair further if we have to. So I put all that here. This is the old pork I want to make sure I'm going through. And I found a crazy amount. These are neck bones. This is another old package of ham hocks, and I have 4 packages that look, or 5 packages that look just like this of smoked ham hocks. I'm gonna cook these up probably all at once, shred them, And I think we're gonna make some pork empanadas, put those in the freezer, some pork pot pies, like we're gonna, this stuff right here is all priority, along with some of this bear meat. Now that it's at the top of the freezer, I'll remember I have it, and it's right next to the ground beef, so it'll be easy for me to grab like a bear meat and ground beef and cut some things with it, which is great. So there's that. All of our pork chops are here, and all of our newest pork is at the bottom of underneath all of this. I was able to fit all of my hams in here, which is also great, and I can still access some ground beef by just kind of lifting this up. So I'm very happy with that. Thank you to all of you lovely people who told me, Cassandra, please don't wait until you're 8 months pregnant to do this project, because it's going to be hard, and I'm listening to you because it's hard now. Okay. But I'm happy I went through this, because I thought I was out of this like clearance cheese that my husband bought. And I actually still have quite a bit of it. I have some sliced cheeses here that I didn't know I still had. So this was a good project to do, especially the day before I go once a month grocery shopping, because all this stuff is gonna be fresh in my mind and I'll know what we have. I also found some tortillas in this big freezer here. I had no idea I still had. I've been making fresh tortillas because I didn't think I had any. So good to know I did still have some. And I found a couple bags of hidden fruit, like frozen fruit, that I didn't think I still had. Some of the big kids have been digging through this freezer the last day or two because we're out of fresh fruit. 4 bags of frozen fruit, and they said we didn't have any in here. So it's good to know that we did in fact have some. So I'm just trying to think in which order I want to put things back into this smaller chest freezer, and then I'll get it loaded. And this project is done, which feels really great. I really wanted to get this done. I'm very happy that I waited a full 30 days to do this, eating out of this freezer for an entire month, like really focusing on it and trying to get the old cuts of stuff out, because otherwise I think I would have been very overwhelmed with realizing how much we really needed to eat through. And now I'm only seeing like those 4 packages or 5 packages of older pork I would really like to get through, plus a lot of like smoked ham hocks and neck bones and things, which I typically roast all up at the same time. However, I did not realize exactly how many I had. Usually we buy half a pig, and this last time we bought a whole pig. So just realizing that obviously the quantities are going to be doubled. Plus I have some things that I didn't process before with the old pig. So I've got a lot of those things. So I think I have enough ham hocks and neck bones to roast up probably like 3 or 4 times, which isn't a bad thing. It's just I need to make sure that I'm doing that and remembering that they're in there, trying to keep them towards the top of the freezer, because those cuts of meat very often will fall to the bottom of my chest freezer and I forget that I have them, and then I'm ordering another pig and realizing, oh my gosh, I still have these ham hocks, and then I end up in this exact situation where I have a lot of the same cut of meat. I kept my sandwich stuff up here. I put the sliced cheeses underneath the lunch meat and whatnot. Some extra yeast. I always keep some of this like plant-based butter in here because we have family members who are dairy free. So when I do like holiday cookings or hostings and things, it's really convenient to just have a couple sticks of this. That way I'm making sure that they can enjoy the things I'm cooking too. Our discount cheeses and the bag of chicken, our fruit, obviously our bags of veggies that we had, and then this is some cabbage from the garden for whatever reason, and ended up down here instead of the freezer in the garage, which holds all of our produce and things. If you want to see a freezer tour, I will link it down below if you want to see what's in the freezer you're not seeing today. That's where all of our fish is usually, and all of the produce that we grow here on the homestead. And then this is like our store-bought things that we don't produce ourselves yet. So not too bad. Very empty, which makes me feel really good, because I go grocery shopping tomorrow, it'll fill up, and it feels good. That way I know if I'm ever looking for something that I purchased from a store, it's in this freezer. And if I'm looking for any of our meat besides our fish, it'll be in this freezer, which feels really, really great. So there is the overall finishing of our 2 freezers that we wanted to get organized today. Thank you guys so much for taking time out of your day to hang out with me today. I hope wherever you are, you're having a fantastic day. I hope that you have the opportunity to cross something off your to-do list, and I'll catch you guys in another one.